Hello?
Miss Lestico, guess what time it is?
What time?
It's time for math!
Yay!
What's up, first grade? Are you ready for
Welcome
math?
to a new week of math.
I'm excited. We did a lot of really cool stuff with Place Value Day, and we're not done.
That's true. We're going to have a whole 2 weeks of place value left.
Oh, that is so exciting. Hey, what are we doing today?
Well, today, our target says I can represent numbers to 120 in various forms and compare each form.
Oh my goodness.
So I know the forms and I know how to make the various forms, but comparing.
I remember we learned this a while ago. Those greater than, less than, equals to. I loved that.
That's true. Well, we're going to have another fun comparing video to help us remember exactly what our comparison symbols are and what they mean.
Ooh, let's get started.
Let's see. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stickers. You've got a lot of stickers, Moby. You definitely have more than me. How can you compare numbers? It's the perfect day to go apple picking, right, Moby? I've picked 7 apples so far. How about you? So you've picked 5, and I picked 7. On a number line, 7 comes after 5. That means 7 is greater than 5. So I picked more apples than you. How many apples do you have now, Moby? You picked 13 apples? The number 13 comes after 7 on a 100 chart. That means 13 is greater than 7. It also means that 7 is less than 13. So now you have more apples, Moby. How do you compare bigger numbers? Mia picked 20 apples. Who has more, you or Mia? When you compare bigger numbers, you should compare the numbers in the highest place value first. You have 1 10 and 3 1s, but Mia has 2 10s and 0 1s. So Mia picked more apples than you. Whoa, Moby. Who has more apples now? Moby, you picked 324 apples. The farmer has 389 apples. We need to look at the largest place value first. Since you both have 300s, we need to compare the numbers in the tens place next. You have 2 10s, but the farmer has 8 10s. So the farmer has more apples than you. I don't think there are any apples left. How do you use symbols to compare numbers? There are plenty of pumpkins to pick. You can write a number sentence to compare numbers. Cool, you picked 16 pumpkins. That's more than Grandpop. This is the greater than sign. In a number sentence, the wider part faces the bigger number. 16 is greater than 10. This is the less than sign. In a number sentence, the corner points to the smaller number. So we say 10 is less than 16. Don't worry, you can make a picture in your mind to help remember the signs. I like to think of the symbol as an alligator. The alligator is hungry, so it always eats the bigger number. Mia has 6 pumpkins, and she's adding them to Grandpop's basket. That means Grandpop and Mia have 16 pumpkins. That's the same number as you, Moby. This is the equal sign. Both baskets have an equal number of pumpkins. The symbol shows that both sides of the equation equal the same amount. Anyway, Moby, I think I finally collected more stickers than you. Hey!
That was such a fun video.
It was. It helps me remember all of the different symbols that we learned about and the language or the words that we use in order to compare our numbers.
That's right. It's totally okay to practice remembering like a shark eating the bigger side or an alligator eating the bigger side, but we really, really want you to know the words greater than, less than, or equals to in first grade.
That's true. So when you see these symbols, you know that the bigger number, so the bigger side is going to be your greater than side, and then the littler side pointing to the left is going to be your less than side. And when you can't find a bigger side, it means that it's equal.
That's right. So we're going to make sure we're always calling this greater than, less than, and equals to. I think we should practice.
Oh, that's a good idea. So I know that we're practicing comparing all of our forms of a different number. So me and Miss Lime are going to plot a different form for a number up to 120, and we're going to have to figure out how to compare it.
Oh, I remember a number form, Miss Lestico.
What is it?
Standard form. I remember.
Well, that's actually what we're starting with.
Oh my goodness. Okay, I have 118. So I'm going to write that on the board really big so you can see it. 118.
So I know that when we were comparing numbers last time, we said that we always had to look at the tens place first to figure out if the number was greater or less than. But now, Miss Lime, we have a hundreds place. So are we still going to look at the tens place first?
Well, hang on. When I'm comparing numbers, I always need to start at the greatest place value. We were looking at the tens because that was the greatest place value, but now it's the one or the hundreds. That's the greatest place value.
That's right. So we have to look at a new place value in order to figure out which one is greater. And if they're the same, well, what are we going to do?
Well, I remember when we were comparing our numbers that just had tens and ones, if the tens were the same, we looked at the ones. So maybe if the hundreds are the same, we move over to the tens. And then if the tens are the same, we scooch over and look at the ones. We keep going down the place value until we're sure which one is greater than, less than, or if they're equals to.
Well, let's see if we can use that strategy to figure out whose number is bigger. So Miss Lime has 118, and I got the number 120. So I'm going to write 120 really big on the board. 120. Well, Miss Lime, I see that in the hundreds place,
I have a 1.
I have a 1 as well. So we have the same number.
Okay.
Is 1 greater than, less than, or equal to 1?
Well, they're equal, right? Because I have 100, you have 100. So I guess we need to look at our tens.
Oh, okay. Well, I have a 2 in the tens place.
And I have a 1 in the tens place. Those are not the same. They're
No.
not.
Well, if I'm looking at a number line, I know that I would see 1 before I saw 2. And so
2 is definitely a bigger number.
2 is greater than 1.
So Miss Lestico's number has a greater value than my number, which means her number is greater. So I'm going to use the less than symbol because my number is less than, and it comes first.
Oh.
So we're going to say 118 is less than 120.
All right, let's pick a new number to compare.
I got, expanded form. It's 100 plus 10 plus 1. So I'm going to write that on the board. 100 plus 10 plus 1. Ooh, Okay, well, Miss Lestica, what card are you going to draw?
I drew 100 plus 0 plus 8. So I'm going to write that on the board. I have 100 plus 0 plus 8. And a lot of the sheets that you're going to do, you're going to see a giant circle in the middle or a box in the middle. And that's where your comparison symbol is going to go.
Well, we should start comparing these numbers. Let's see. I have the value of my hundreds plus the value of my tens plus the value of my ones. Well, Miss Lestica, I have 100. Do you have 100?
Oh, I know we look at the hundreds first. I have 100 too.
Ooh, so far, we're the same. Okay. Ooh, now let's look at our tens then, since our hundreds were the same. Okay, I have 10.
And I have 0. Oh, 10 is definitely greater than 0.
That's right. So if I have a greater value of tens, that means my number is greater. What symbol should we use?
Well, that means we would use the greater than symbol. So the bigger side would need to be towards the bigger number, which is Miss Lime's number. So I'm going to say that 100 plus 10 plus 1 is greater than 100 plus 0 plus 8.
Let's practice one more. Okay, I'm going to pick this card. And it's in picture form or base 10 form. I have 100, a 10, and 6 ones. So I'm going to go ahead and draw that on the board.
All right, let's look at my card. Let's see. I have 100 and 110, and then 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 ones. Wow. So I'm going to go ahead and draw my number on the board. I have 100, I have 110, and I have 9 ones.
And I like how on both of our pictures, we can clearly see what the 100 is, the tens, and the ones.
That's right. Well, now we have to compare our numbers. So I know that I have 100 block.
I also have 100. We always start with the highest place value.
Well, next we have to go to the tens place.
Okay.
I have 110 block.
I also have 110 block.
Oh. Well, okay, I guess we just have to keep going down place values until we figure out which one's greater. So I have 9 ones.
I have 6 ones.
Oh, our numbers were different.
Well, 6 is a smaller number than 9, so 6 is less than 9. So that means my number has a lesser value. It's less than.
Oh, okay. Well, what symbol would you use?
Well, if my number is first, I need to use the less than symbol because my number is less than. So I'm going to say my number right here with a 100, a 110, and 6 ones is less than 100, 110, and 9 ones. It's really important to make sure you pay attention to this because if I had like 8 tens, it might look like a lot more, but I didn't start with my hundreds place value. So make sure you're always starting with your hundreds place value. It's your turn.
On Seesaw, you are going to have a lot of numbers in standard form, and you're going to have to use one of your comparing symbols in order to compare the two numbers.
Make sure you always start at the highest place value and work your way down if you need to.
That's true. You're going to have greater than, less than, and equal to numbers. So remember that there's 3 different ways you can compare your numbers.
Make sure you push that green check mark when you're done.
Good luck, first grade.